Hello, guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Football Plus F1 show. I'm sitting in a room as today we're going to talk about yesterday's Premier League games and also we're going to talk about Formula One, the Abu Dhabi qualifying. Let's start with the football, of course. Yesterday, Aston Villa beat Arsenal 2-1. I felt like Aston Villa deserved to win. Aston Villa got the lead, the goal with a goal from Matty Cash, who also scored against Manchester City a couple of weeks ago, who won the game for Aston Villa. And then Arsenal, I felt like Aston Villa played really well. I think in the first half they played fantastically well. I think Arsenal, except the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, I felt like they were very, very poor. But you have to give credit to Aston Villa because defensively they were quite. They did what they had to do, and when they had the ball, they created chances, and they caused problems for Arsenal defensively, even though they have some injuries. And Aston Villa, I felt like they played really, really well, and I think they deserve to win. In my opinion, some periods of the game, I felt like Aston Villa outplayed Arsenal, even though Arsenal had some chances and they had some possession. I felt like Aston Villa were the better team and they deserve to win. And Arsenal second half they got better a little bit with the goal from Trossard as he was coming off the bench, which is, Trossard when he comes off the bench he always delivers. When he starts he doesn't always deliver, but he scored a goal. And then I think like Arsenal were not that great. A point at Villa Park is not a bad point. It's not the end of the world. Take it and move on to the next game. And I think that's what Arsenal should have done. They should have hold on. Okay, yeah, we might not win the game, but we didn't play well. So let's hold on and take a point and move on and go home and take that point away from us because that could be important at the end of the season to us winning the title. And then they throw it away, in my opinion. But you have to give credit to Aston Villa because they never gave up. It's not like it was a draw and they were like, yeah, it's okay to get a point against Arsenal. It's because it's against Arsenal and they're top of the table. They still went for it and they got the second goal from Buendia, who hasn't played a lot but scored a winning goal for Aston Villa. And huge kudos to Unai Emery as well because the job he's done is absolutely incredible. Because I remember start of the season, like as Aston Villa was struggling, they were having problems with PSR. They didn't have many signings in the summer transfer window as well, and some rumours were even linking with saying that Unai Emery could be his final season at Aston Villa, etc. But the job is done is absolutely incredible. Except the five, and let's not forget they had a poor start to the season as well. I think in the first 5-6 games they didn't win any of them, and they went on. And Unai Emery criticised his players for being lazy against Sunderland, I think. And then they went on in this incredible, crazy, fantastic run. I think they won like almost every single game, except they lost to Liverpool away and they lost to Go Ahead Eagles in the Europa League, and that's it. Every other games they've won since that Sunderland game. All the time they've won, except the Liverpool game and the Go Ahead Eagles in the Europa League. So they've been in a phenomenal run of form. They've been winning game after game after game. And Unai Emery once again, he's delivering again as a manager, and you have to give him a lot of credit. He's a top class of a coach. Despite not having the best resources, despite not having the budget that the big clubs have, like City or Arsenal or Liverpool, he still helps Aston Villa to be up there still and compete with the big boys and fighting. They're right now, and he's done a phenomenal job. And players for Aston Villa, some players improved for Aston Villa. Like you look at Matty Cash, has improved massively. You look at Unana, who's a very good player. Konsa, he's been fantastic for Aston Villa recently. Emiliano Martinez, I thought he had a great game. He made some great saves in this game where at the start of the season looked like he was going to leave Aston Villa, but he was fantastic in this game for Aston Villa. It's a different, completely different Aston Villa to what it was 3-4 months ago, where it was like a team you can get at them. Right now, they look like a team that they're the most informed team in the Premier League right now. The way they're playing right now, the way they're performing, how they're winning games, and how they keep defensively. They are solid, and going forward, how they are able to capitalize. You have to give them a lot of credit. And again, Unai Emery's done a fantastic job. He's as a coach, as a manager. He's very good in both ways. In managing, he's obviously fantastic. He's very good, as we saw with Villarreal, with Sevilla, with Valencia, and to some extent Arsenal as well. But I think if Arsenal had backed him more, just like they did with Mikel Arteta, I think he would have succeeded there. But because his English was not that great at that time, with the whole good evening thing, he didn't get the support that he would have liked. His man management is fantastic, and also his coaching. Tactically, he's a brilliant coach. I hear brilliant stories from Gabriel Agbonlahor about him, and he says that he works a lot in Aston Villa, that he works really hard at Aston Villa, how many hours he works, etc., etc. Tactically, he's a fantastic coach as well as Unai Emery, as you can see. So, yeah, brilliant. Well done, Aston Villa. As for Arsenal, I think that they should have done. Yeah, it wasn't a good performance, and obviously going away to Villa is always tricky, especially with the injuries Arsenal have, like Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba. You can't. If you want to beat Aston Villa away, you cannot have that many big injuries. And I think it's we all, before the game, we all thought Saliba could be back for the game, but he was injured, and then Mikel Arteta had to put Timber alongside Ikambi, and he had to put Ben White right back because and especially Ben White hasn't played a lot for Arsenal, so it was kind of a tricky situation. But I think Arsenal should have done better to hold on with at least with a point. Is it the end of the world? No. I still think Arsenal are the team to beat. I still think Arsenal are going to win the league. The 2 points behind, clear of City still. However, it proves that the Premier League title is not over. Because I heard weeks ago, a lot of people saying, "Oh, the title race is over. City are terrible. Arsenal are great. Arsenal have won the league already." No, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And you're facing against Manchester City, who've been beat there before and done it. So you can't write off, because this Premier League season has been going right, left, and centre. Like Liverpool start the season really well, and people saying, and they make great signings, and people saying, "Oh, Liverpool going to win the Premier League," and then Arsenal have a great lead and saying, "Oh, Arsenal going to win the league," and now Arsenal going to bottle it. At some point, people saying Chelsea were in the title fight, and then they lost to Leeds and draw to Bournemouth. So it's been a kind of a roller coaster of a season in the Premier League so far, and it's going to continue to be, without doubt, because this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So it's a 38 game campaign. It's not a knockout stage or whatever. It's a 38 game campaign. It's a long, long way to go. I still think Arsenal should win the Premier League, but it's not guaranteed, because they've got a team on their mirrors that they've been there before, done it, and that's Manchester City, who beat Sunderland 3-0. It was actually a much better performance from City, because even though they beat Leeds and Fulham, defensively they were all over the place. This game, they were very good attacking wise, as it happened against Leeds and Fulham, but defensively they were actually better. And people say, "Oh, of course, it's against Sunderland." Yeah, if it's against Sunderland, then why did Sunderland drew with Liverpool and Arsenal? And so yeah, but City, comfortable win, no problems. Goals from Ruben Diaz, Gvardiol. Phil Foden again, he's shining again. Goal and assist from him again. And Cherky, what a great performance from him. That second assist, that Reborn assist, that was a thing of beauty, honestly, amazing. Great performance from him. And it's nice to see that City actually can do well from other players. I thought Duka had a very good game, even though he didn't get a goal or assist. Cherky had like I said, he made two brilliant assists, especially the second one. Phil Foden, fantastic. It's nice to see that City can also deliver from other players other than Haaland, because when Haaland doesn't score, you need other players to deliver, and City had that in this game. So well done to City, a good win, and they closed the gap on Arsenal, and it's 2 points. So Aston Villa is 3 points also behind Arsenal. I don't think Aston Villa are going to be in the title fight. I don't think so. I mean, because they don't have the squad, and they don't have the the consistency that Arsenal and City will have, in my opinion. But I think Aston Villa were in this situation before, because I remember 2 seasons ago, before Sheffield United, they had a chance to go top of the league. I think it wasn't before Christmas, or I don't exactly remember, but 2 seasons ago, I think they had the chance to go top of the league, if I'm not mistaken, and they drew to Sheffield United. So yeah. But yeah, as the Man City win another game, they're 2 points behind Arsenal, and for sure the title race is really, really on, and it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be an exciting title battle. For sure, it's going to be between Arsenal and Man City. Arsenal should still win the title, but never write off Pep Guardiola and Manchester City on your patch. Bournemouth drew 0-0 with Chelsea. Bournemouth have had a terrible run of form recently, losing 4 or 5 games. Chelsea, they would hope to bounce back after losing to Leeds. However, you can clearly see Chelsea missed a focal number 9. Delap is a decent striker, but he's not consistent enough. He's not good enough, in my opinion. Cole Palmer, he did okay, but not much. It was kind of a game where you need your team needs a goal. You need a focal number 9, and I think Chelsea lacked that in this game, in my opinion. Everton beat Nottingham Forest 3-0, another very good win for Everton. They've been in a good run of form recently. Newcastle beat Burnley 2-1. Tottenham finally win a game after beating Brentford 2-0. Leeds United drew 3-3 with Liverpool. Just as when you think the pain doesn't stop at Liverpool, the pain continues. I mean, the first half it was 0-0. Second half, but then Liverpool in the second half they responded very, very quickly, fantastically well, scoring 2 goals from Hugo Ekitike. 2 goals, 2-0 up. Liverpool were 2-0 up. 2 goals from Hugo Ekitike, and you think like, okay, Liverpool should win the game now. Leeds United had a decent side. They beat Chelsea and they had a good fight. They showed a good fight against Manchester City. And they showed another good fight as well, as they went from losing 2-0 to 2-2, as they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes, just like Hugo Ekitike scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. And finally, Arne Slot started Hugo Ekitike. But Calvert-Lewin with a penalty, and then 2-2 with the Statch. But then 5 minutes later, Szoboszlai scores. It looked like the winning goal, and you think like, okay, at least Liverpool scored the 3rd goal. At least they can now hold on, and they must have learned their lessons from being 2-0 up and throwing it away. They scored the 3rd goal. Now they should be better. And then the last minute, Ayo Tanaka, who's been in a very good run of form recently. Actually, he scored against Chelsea, and now he scored against Liverpool. He's been a fantastic run of form. He's been stepping up for big time for Leeds United recently, coming off the bench and scoring. So well done to him. And a good point for Leeds United, especially being behind 2 times, and it looked like they're going to lose the game, but great fight. And I think Leeds United in the last 3 games they've shown that they've shown a good like indication, a good evidence that they can stay up with the fight they showed against Man City. Great win against Chelsea, and a great draw against Liverpool as well. A great comeback. So yeah, as for Liverpool, I think Arne Slot might need to be sacked. I really think so, because you look at those players. They look like players that don't believe in the manager anymore. It looks like the players have lost the belief in the manager. It looks like Konate. Oh my God! Konate was absolute woeful once again. Absolute woeful. And that penalty, I thought that wasn't a penalty, by the way, because I thought he got the ball. But then when you watch it again, it was a penalty. What was he doing? I have no idea. Defensively, Liverpool was shocking. And obviously everybody knows what Mohamed Salah said after the game as well, which I'll talk about it on another day, because right now I'm not in the right place to talk about it. I'll talk about it like tomorrow or Tuesday, Liverpool's next game. And yeah, like Liverpool, they looked in absolute woeful, shocking. Salah dropped for the 3rd consecutive game. He didn't even bring him on. Like when you need a winning goal, you need to bring Mo Salah. Yeah, Mo Salah is not in a good run of form, but if you can trust one of the players who can deliver big time in the last couple of minutes, it's Mohamed Salah. And I think, I understand why Slot dropped him, but I think he should have brought him on, because you are at risk of not winning the game, and Arne Slot paid the price for it. So Ekitike to score 2 goals, that's positive for Liverpool. But again, yeah, another game, another pain for Liverpool, and they are now 8th in the Premier League. They're only 2 points behind the top 4, but they should be like 10 points behind the top 4, the way they're performing right now. So yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for Arne Slot. It looks like the players have lost the belief in him. When you look at the body language of the players, it looks like they've lost the belief on Arne Slot. It looks like it. And obviously, Mohamed Salah's comments after the game indicates that, where obviously, he says, I've lost the belief, we've lost, there's no relationship, etc., etc. And I'm going to talk about it more in detail in the next coming days. But his comments are very telling. You could tell the players have lost the belief in him. You can tell. And he's done a good job of winning the Premier League last season, even though mostly was because of Salah's brilliance. And he, again, at the press conference, once again, talking nonsense about set pieces and etc. So, yeah. Now, let's move on to Formula 1.